Okay, let's unpack this Robinhood Legend. It's a pretty big new thing from them, right? A whole desktop trading platform.
Yeah, exactly. And it seems like it's directly addressing that common critique that their tools were maybe a bit too simple for some traders.
Right, so this could be like a game changer for beginners testing things out, but also for maybe more experienced folks needing more advanced tools.
That seems to be the idea. It's interesting, isn't it? A bit of a shift maybe in who they're trying to appeal to, less purely focused on absolute beginners, perhaps.
Possibly. So to really get a handle on it, we checked out this YouTube tutorial. It's by Ryan Scribner called How to Use Robinhood Legend for Beginners Platform Tutorial 2025.
A good source to get a first look, definitely.
Yeah, so think of this deep dive as, saving you some time. We've watched it, pulled out the key bits. Our mission really is just to understand what Robinhood Legend is based on that tutorial. What does it do? How does it feel to you?
And crucially, is it something that might actually be useful for you, the listener? Whether you're just starting or you've been trading for a while, does it manage to blend that Robinhood ease of use with, well, more powerful features?
Okay, so let's get down to the basics. What did Scribner say about who gets this and how?
Well, the tutorial suggests it's eventually for all Robinhood brokerage account holders, which is great news.
And no need for Robinhood Gold.
Apparently not. No gold subscription needed, which, yeah, that lowers the barrier to entry quite a bit. Initially, you find it at robinhood.com/legend.
Making it widely available from the get-go seems smart. Get lots of eyes on it. Get feedback quickly.
Definitely. And Scribner's first impressions, he seemed pretty positive.
He did. He called the user experience fantastic. Even mentioned cool sounds and visuals. Sounded like maybe something appealing if you like that polished Mac-like feel.
Yeah, that fits Robinhood's brand, focusing on the user interface. Makes sense they'd want it to look and feel good and not just be functional. It's just they're trying to make the desktop experience engaging, not just, utilitarian.
Now, this is where I thought it got really interesting. The modular design.
Ah, yes, the widgets and customization.
Exactly, like building blocks for your trading screen. You can apparently create custom layouts, drag things around, even across multiple monitors, add the widgets you need.
That's a huge leap from their simpler mobile interface, isn't it? That level of personalization is something you usually find on more professional grade platforms. Allows you to tailor it exactly to your strategy.
Like if you're a day trader, maybe you want super short-term charts right next to real-time data feeds. This sounds like it enables that kind of setup.
For sure. But it's starting totally blank feels, a bit much.
They thought of that. There's a start from template option. Scribner showed there were 8 pre-built layouts.
Okay, that's helpful. Kind of like training wheels for the modular system. Gives you a starting point.
Yeah, aimed at different roles or strategies. It wasn't totally clear if they were like stock focused versus options focused or trading time frame focused, but still, templates are good.
Definitely. What's one of the examples he showed?
He highlighted the market tracker template. When he recorded, it showed the 8 most actively traded stocks on Robinhood at that moment.
Oh, like the hot stocks of the day.
Pretty much. Tesla, Ford, Amazon, Google, Neo, Disney, Meta, Lucid Motors. Each one had its own default candlestick chart.
Candlestick charts, okay? So showing the open, high, low, close for a time period. Standard stuff, but good. It's the default. And real-time data.
Yeah, real-time updates. And he showed you can zoom in easily on any chart, just like a 2-finger drag, like on a trackpad.
Nice. Familiar gestures make it easier to adopt.
Also, within that market tracker, there was a toggle. You could switch the view between the current trading session for those stocks and your overall portfolio performance.
Ah, that's handy. See the market action and your own bottom line, quick switch. Good for context.
Definitely. Now, digging into the charts themselves, you can really tweak them. First thing is the time interval.
Right, like how much time each candlestick represents. 1 minute, 5 minutes.
Exactly. He showed examples like 1 minute, but also tick by tick, even something called 144 ticks. So lots of granularity there, which is key for technical analysis, right? Looking at different levels of detail.
Absolutely. Shorter intervals for intraday action, longer for trends. What about the overall time period shown?
That's the time horizon. You can change that too. Look at just today, the past week, month, whatever. Zoom out to see the bigger picture.
So you've got interval and horizon control. That's powerful for visualizing price history and trends.
And chart types. It wasn't just candlesticks.
No. What else? Line charts, bar charts.
Those were mentioned, yeah. The Scribner also said there were more advanced types, some he wasn't even familiar with himself.
Interesting. Could be things like Heikin-Ashi for smoothing trends, or maybe Renko charts focusing purely on price movement. Their inclusion suggests they're catering to, well, more sophisticated users.
Definitely seems that way. And for technical analysis folks, indicators are obviously crucial.
How do you add those?
There's a little icon, looks like a squiggly F. He showed adding a simple moving average, an SMA.
Okay, common indicator. Can you change the period? Like a 50-day versus a 200-day.
Yep, exactly. He demonstrated changing it from the default 50 to 200. That customization is key.
Essential. And others. Did he show RSI?
He did. Added the relative strength index too, another popular one. And here's a neat feature. You can save your combination of indicators.
As a template.
Yeah. He called his default, but you can name it anything. Then you can just load that template onto any other chart. Saves a ton of clicking.
Oh, that's really efficient. Set up your preferred indicators once, apply them everywhere. Good time saver.
So what if you don't care about, say, Ford or Meta in that market tracker template? Can you change the stocks?
You'd hope so.
Yeah, easily. Just click a symbol, search for what you want. He swapped in Netflix and GM as examples in the chart updates. Simple.
Good. Makes the templates flexible starting points, not rigid boxes.
Then he looked at another template, the chart spotlight.
Sounds like it focuses on just one asset.
Exactly. Gives you a bigger, more detailed view of a single stock. He showed changing the time horizon on that one, maybe looking at just the last week and adjusting the interval to, say, 30 minutes for a closer look at recent action.
Makes sense. Good for doing a deeper dive on one specific thing you're tracking.
And if you like drawing on charts, trend lines, support, resistance.
Does it have drawing tools? That's often a differentiator.
It does. He accessed line tools, drew a basic trend line, pointed out that zooming in and out doesn't mess up your drawing, which is important.
Oh, that's good. Nothing worse than your lines getting distorted when you zoom.
You can also draw rectangles to highlight areas and add text boxes for notes. He took detail for later as an example.
So you can annotate right on the chart. Useful. And deleting them.
Yep. Delete individual drawings or clear the whole chart. Standard drawing capabilities, seems like.
So, okay, templates are nice, but what about building your own layout completely?
You can do that too. Start from scratch option. He showed creating a blank layout, renaming it, I think he called it his Ryan's Trading View, and using a full screen mode.
Ah, complete control. That's what power users often want. Design it exactly how you like it. Maximize screen real estate.
So let's talk widgets. These are the building blocks for those custom layouts. Scribner highlighted 6 types.
Okay, what are they?
First, the full account summary, usually top left, shows your overall account status.
Like balance, buying power?
Seems like it. It had a link to deposit funds, though, that apparently redirects you back to the normal Robinhood site. You can also toggle how much detail shows and customize what's displayed. Things like day trade count and treating P&L profit and loss, which he noted was a newer feature for Robinhood overall.
Integrating P&L and day trade counts right there is useful. Quick feedback on your activity.
Then there's a recent orders widget, shows trades from the last 24 hours.
Okay, essential for active traders to track fills and stuff. Did it show much in the demo?
His demo account was empty there, but he mentioned options for sorting and filtering, so the functionality seems to be there.
Got it. What else?
The positions widget that shows everything you currently own.
Your portfolio holdings, can you sort them, like by profit?
Yeah, he showed sorting by different things, profit included, and each position has a little 3-dot menu.
For actions, like buy more, sell.
Exactly. He demoed buying more supermicrocomputer SMCI, showing you could do fractional shares, market buys in dollar amounts.
Fractional shares? Good. Makes it accessible even with smaller amounts.
Did he try selling?
He did. Tried selling some Tesla, said there was a small hiccup initially trying to sell a specific dollar amount, but then a dollar-based sell worked fine, so maybe a tiny beta bug, but basically functional.
Okay. And can you customize the columns in that positions view?
Yep. He showed removing the one-day P&L column, adding asset type, adjusting column widths. Pretty standard customization.
Good, good. What about options traders? There's an options chain widget. He mentioned it, but also said he doesn't really trade options, so didn't dive deep. But its presence is significant.
Definitely signals they're supporting more than just stock trading.
And then just a basic chart widget, if you just want to add a standalone chart to your layout. Defaulted to Apple, apparently.
Simple enough. What was the last one?
The last widget function he showed was grouping. This sounded pretty neat.
Grouping, how does that work?
Widgets in a group get linked, indicated by like a blue color. If you change the stock symbol in one grouped widget, say, you change a chart from Apple to Tesla.
It automatically updates other linked widgets like the options chain to Tesla as well.
Exactly. So you don't have to manually change the symbol in 5 different places if you're looking at the same stock through different tools.
That's very efficient. Streamlines analysis of a single asset across multiple views. I like that.
Me too. And the good news is, all these custom layouts you build, they save automatically.
Oh, thank goodness. No save button anxiety.
Right. And you can create multiple custom layouts, plus still use the pre-built templates whenever you want. Lots of flexibility there.
Okay, so that covers the main features from Scribner's walkthrough.
Yeah, so let's try to wrap things up. Key takeaways for listeners from this initial look. What stands out?
I think the big things are definitely the customization, that modular design is a major step up, and the more advanced charting, the technical indicators, drawing tools. It feels much more like a serious platform.
It really does seem like they're addressing those past criticisms head on, offering a much richer experience, especially on desktop where maybe serious traders spend more time anyway.
For sure. And the potential to personalize your setup is huge. It moves beyond just executing trades into enabling actual analysis within the Robinhood ecosystem.
So a question for everyone listening.
Yep.
Based on this, what jumps out at you? Is it the custom layouts, the better charts, the integrated account stuff? What feature sounds most useful for how you trade or might want to trade?
Yeah, and how do you see yourself using it? Would you start with those templates? Or just jump right into building your own custom dashboard? It's interesting to think about how different people might approach it.
Definitely something to consider. If you have a Robinhood account, maybe worth logging into robinhood.com/legend and just poking around yourself.
And if things like the technical indicators or options chains caught your ear, maybe look for more in-depth tutorials specifically on using those within Legend.
Good point. So I guess the final thought here is just watching how these platforms keep evolving. Tools like Legend seem to be making more sophisticated analysis more accessible.
Which continues to change the game, really, for how individual investors can interact with the markets. It'll be interesting to see how widely adopted Legend becomes and what impact it has.